talked to you about this a couple times this season, but have you been a part of a team that's just tried to force the turnover thing and just hasn't been able to find its way in there?
Yeah, it's we got the ball out on Sunday and had an opportunity to get it, and it's just one of those things that you make that play, it changes the whole game, because it's a 10-10 ball game at that time, and but it's not for the lack of effort, it's not the lack of trying and coaching it. It's just sometimes it doesn't come out as much as you want it to, and so you just got to stay the course. And so hopefully, the rest of the season we can start punching it out, tipping some balls, make some interceptions. But it is our focus. That's what we've been doing, and we're going to continue to try to do that, and hopefully we'll see a different result here come on Sunday.
Is that a sort of thing that like where things do regress to the mean, where a team that's had a really hard time doing it just all of a sudden just starts forcing in bunches? You don't really know where it comes from.
Yeah, sometimes they do come in bunches, so it's one leads to the next and the next, what I mean? It's kind of like, energy and tackles and takeaways and sacks and all those things, and if you can just get it going and just get one, then, who knows how many you can get. And so the guys gain confidence in how to do it and everything like that, so, but, no, we're trying and coaching it, and I know the guys are conscious of it, and we just got to have more attempts, tip some balls, that'll help a lot too.
What's the challenge of trying to design a pressure package when you're down both your starting ends and you got linebackers out, just so many moving parts?
Yeah, luckily we've got some other guys that's played for us, and so we'll just continue on what we've done. Nothing's going to change. We just stay the course, and some other guys can get some opportunities. It's a good thing about it.
Ryan, the Rams have had some significant issues offensively. Is it pretty much personnel related, or do you see some significant differences from what they did last year?
Well, with their injuries, I think you've seen, some of the guys that they had success with last year, and obviously they had a great season, right? And so, but they still got a lot of the similar pieces, you know what I mean? So they can be an explosive offense. They got a Super Bowl winning quarterback. They've got some wideouts who can still catch the ball, and some of their offensive linemen that started last year are playing in our game. So. Look, again, it's not about them, it's about what we do. And so the focus has just been on, our fundamentals, our focus and execution of the game plan.
With those injuries, it looks like they're going to march out what will be their 10th different offensive line combinations so far this season. Does that impact anything on your end in terms of game planning when you don't really have tape for that specific collection of offensive lines?
I think if you focus too much on them, you kind of lose a little bit of the focus on yourself. And so it's really been this week about, how we can attack them, with the guys that we have and in our package and not just invent this new defense that we never practiced before, So, yeah, we've made some changes, just a few tweaks. I'm not going to tell you right now, so you'll see on Sunday. But I feel the guys in practice and just with just a couple of new things and not a lot of a whole-scale change, just a few little things. And so the guys had practice was good today. They had good juice. They had good juice yesterday. And so you can feel the confidence in doing the same thing over and over, but with the addition of a couple of new things.
I felt like the energy was a little bit higher in practice today. Was that an emphasis going into this week?
It's always been,
higher, but
no, it felt better, right? And playing at home, I think we're at the part of the season where, look, everybody's all in, and then that's just where we've been. And, the season hasn't gone where we want it to go, but I know the guys are fighting, everybody's coaching hard, and we're staying together, and we just got to get one. That's just the focus. Let's just get this one, and we'll see what happens.
DA mentioned yesterday that it was kind of an emphasis on fundamentals and getting back to some of that stuff. What does that process entail when you guys are going through that?
Sometimes a little bit more teach tape, watching some things, how to do things on tape that we've done before, or somebody else doing some things. And then watching ourselves a little bit, in individual periods and things like that. And so those two ways, and then we just got to implement them, when we go out on the practice field like we did today. And then tomorrow would be the same thing, So whether we're watching on film or doing it in individual, and then you're putting it into work, in the team period. So
I mean, it kind of sounds easy, like they're missing tackles, so just make tackles. But like, why is it just not that simple? Like, why is it kind of a process?
Well, it's all fundamentals, and you get to this part of the season and you're not practicing in pads as much as you would like to because the length of the season and things happen like that, So there more is the emphasis on, okay, here's the tape, this is how you do it. And then, we use all the the tools out there to teach the tackling and the takeaways and stuff like that. And so, but really just the emphasis, the fundamentals of how to tackle, where to strike on the blocker, how to have your feet, explode through, run your feet on contact, all those key things that you need to make tackles. So we'll watch it and then we'll go out and we'll practice it in a slower pace than full speed.
Is the process of like teaching us something different at all this year? Is this just kind of
No, it's all the same. Yeah.
What did you see out of Caden Ellis with more time on the field?
Guy played with a lot of energy, made some plays, made a heck of a cost fumble. You just felt passion for the game. You felt a player that, man, he took his opportunity, and I think he made the most out of it. And so, but the thing with him now is now we know, and he knows he can do it, and now they're now seeing him on tape, and so this will be a big challenge this week for him.
What's it been like seeing Dennis kind of handle this season as the head coach and navigating a 3-7?
Yeah, I think he's done a good job. I really do. It's kind of we haven't been in this spot in a long time around here, and so it's challenging for the head coach and for everybody, but we're all sticking together, and he's done a good job in team meetings, keeping the team together, and practices. Don't feel like we've missed a beat. I feel it's still positive around here, and he's a big part. Keep it positive, keep everybody going in the same direction, fundamentals and technique, and really keep the main thing, and that's the New Orleans Saints, and focusing on ourselves, and let's just get this win. So,
have you seen him really step up in these moments, kind of going from defensive coordinator to head coach, like that big of a change?
Yeah, look, he's done that. We all have been here for a long time doing it together, and so that's the easy part, I think. And sometimes you make the jump, and with the new head coach, sometimes it takes a couple of years to get the program going where you want. Now, we didn't think the season would be where we're at right now, and no one ever wants it to be. But sometimes it goes like that, and so sticking together and fighting through and building this foundation for the future, and so that's an important thing in a program, especially with the new head coach. And, Sean was here for a long time and obviously did a great job, right? But he's now gone, and so now this is a new regime, and he's got the right direction. We just got to stay the course.
Do you guys look for signs to make sure everything's staying together, or would it be fairly obvious if it wasn't kind of
Yeah, you would see things, but
Yeah.
Look, this is professional football, and everybody in that building is professional, so there's really not much to comment about that.
Ryan, when the run defense isn't kind of at the standard that you guys have had the last couple of seasons,
Sure.
does that have kind of an effect on everything else you do when you're not?
Sometimes, but I tell you, I think our pass defense has been better. When you look at our overall numbers going into the last game, I think we're giving up less than 200 yards passing the game, and so the run hasn't been as good, but I think we've been better in some other aspects. So if we can just get a little bit better in the run game, I think you'll see a little bit more complete game out of both the front end and the back end together. But going into last game, statistically, I think we're only giving up 330 or 315 a game, which, you're not in the top. Well, I think we're 12 or 13. So it wasn't like we're in the bottom in that part of it. It's the scoring. We got to do a better job in the red zone of not letting them get touchdowns and holding the field goals and things like that. So,
what goes into that getting a little bit better in the run game? Is that about the line of scrimmage, winning the line of scrimmage? Or?
Yeah, I think it's all three levels. It's the first, it starts with the front, creating a new line of scrimmage. A rule in our defense is we never want to trade one for one. So we want to either make the play or take two guys. And then the second level is the fitting, in this gap or that gap. And then if it does pop, then we got to knock it down in the secondary, so it's the whole run defense, just like pass defense, is all level.
Have you guys seen Chris Harris just kind of settle in and play as he's gotten more and more?
I think he's gotten better every week. I really do. I think he's playing with some confidence. I think he had a good game last week. Played pretty solid against Baltimore. And look, this is an experienced player. He's played a long time, so him just keeping going and just the confidence in the defense. He's understanding the scheme and what to do and everything. So he's seeing good. So anyways.